Yeah, all right. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we're gonna read an article and then we'll get back to the video here. So basically, we're gonna talk about Louise, right? Louise. All right, so Ted Bundy's mother, right? So Ted Bundy's mother here, we see a picture of her, a 1979 photo here of Louise, right? So unfortunately, she is the mother of a terrible killer, right? This guy was killing all kinds of people and everything. He if you don't know about Ted Bundy, he was put to death in the electric chair for his crimes, right? The crime of murder, which is exactly the same kind of. So Luis Bundy was, and I know this. This is our faith in Ted. He's innocent. He's innocent. She would say that. She refused to believe that he was guilty, and after a while, unfortunately, he really was, and he killed all these people, and then she had to face the facts, that face the reality that her own blood was. Well, that's a little bit how I feel, right? Okay, basically we got some comparisons here, and to this lady, I'm certainly uh, can empathize. This Dr. Michel Dawes, literally my cousin, right? We share the same DNA. And there's a very close relation, familial bond. Even though I'm banned I'm forbidden to talk to her. All right, so let's check out the similarities and the differences between Louise Bundy and me, Ted Bundy's mother, right? Oh man, and that's why. Oh man, I don't even know how to. I really did talk to my grandfather about this, but I don't actually believe that my grandfather fully truly comprehends. I really did talk to him, but he just kind of like, how should I say? He's one of the normal people that he lives in the bubble too, and I don't believe my grandmother could even understand that the scope of the reality. I just don't believe they're capable of understanding. I don't think they're dumb or anything, but I just think they're in their bubble like everybody else. All right, so let's continue on. I don't know. I can't even imagine how they feel to know their own daughter, kill so many people. Right? So she's admired, right? Dr. Michel is admired. Ted Bundy was reviled, right? But the truth is the same. There's no difference here. So the public hates Ted Bundy, right? Rightfully so, right? He's a killer, a terrible killer. But they praise Dr. Michel Dow. Why? Because they don't understand the scale of what she has done, right? She ends lives quietly with a prescription pad instead of a knife, but the blood is just as real, right? Even though the blood didn't even get the chance to develop, the life was there, the DNA was there, and the DNA was 100% a brand new baby boy or baby girl, and was killed, subsequently killed. By the actus reus there was the prescription pad. The mens rea there was the knowledge that the prescription was going to terminate the life of an innocent baby. Right. So this is the same crime. The same crime. There's where's the difference here? Where's the difference? It's only a clump of cells, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. These feminist windbags, I had enough of. Okay, this argument is not valid, and they're only loud. That's the only thing that has them anything going for them. They're noisy, right? So the only difference is public perception, not the weight of the crime. Ted Bundy's violence was visible, right? You could actually see a bunch of blood and everything like that. The mother was mourning for the loss of her daughter and everything like that. The father was very very sad because the daughter died and everything. So the crime was visible, right? Ted Bundy's violence was visible. Dr. Michel Dawes is hidden under white coats and polite smiles, but she's done more harm. But the world refuses to see it, right? Because it was done under the banner of healthcare and women's rights. Now, she never confessed, but her guilt is just as obvious, right? Ted Bundy admitted his crimes. Dr. Dow hides behind the silence and a corrupt system that protects her. If you didn't see my video about um, the complaint to the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Nova Scotia. Please check that out because it's a proof beyond any doubt at all that this is a corrupt system. But the mechanisms of her harm is scientifically undeniable. She knows what she's done, and I know it too. Right? We all know it, and there's not too many views on these videos. I don't even care. The truth is out there. That's the point. So here's nonsense, right? People think I'm crazy, for saying she's a killer, but they are blind. They are blind, right? I used to believe in her innocence. just like many believed in Bundy's charm. But once I saw the truth, it shattered everything I thought I knew. The evidence is there, but the victims are dead. Only the accountability is missing. But there will be accountability. All right, so there will be. All right, there will be a day of final judgment, and the day of final judgment. That is the thing that I mean, I wouldn't want to be in her shoes, to having to do some splaining on the day of judgment, but it certainly will happen. I mean, there's no getting around that, right? The day of judgment is coming, and you cannot escape that. You cannot escape consciousness. Consciousness is good and all that stuff, but there's one thing bad about consciousness is if you go ahead and kill a whole bunch of babies with your prescription pad, there's no getting around it. The kind of consciousness is going to be, you cannot just get away from it, right? And you cannot get away from the final judgment, right? The final judgment is certainly coming. The accountability is not missing here; it's coming very very shortly. It is coming. It is coming. All right. Let's continue on. What's going on here? Society worships her. She's a pillar for the community. Thank you so much for your service to Claire. You were a great doctor. She's retired, right? So, and there's a letter from the. Maybe we'll make a video about that. It's not important or relevant, but anyway, society worships her, and that's what makes this worse. Ted Bundy's mother suffered with the world's judgment, but I suffer against it. Yeah. The woman I know to be a killer is protected, celebrated, and untouchable. That's what makes this wound so unbearable. Man, I am being tormented by this nonsense. I really, really am. It's tormenting me. Yeah, I apologize. Hyperbole. All right, so this is not hyperbole. It's the truth, and no one wants to face it. No one wants to face. It's the truth. No one wants to face. People say I'm exaggerating, but I ask, how many lives does it take before someone earns the title of a murderer? Right, a murderess. If ending a life is murder, then ending 1,000 is not choice. It's genocide. Right. These are. Incredibly heavy emotions, but they are valid, right? This is certainly a true thing, and we see that as a contrast, right, between Ted Bundy's mother and me, right? But I certainly wouldn't want to be, my grandfather or my grandmother, right? They are both alive, right? The father and mother of Dr. Michel Dare are both alive, and man. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. Is it my duty to like educate them on what their daughter has done? I don't know, probably, I guess, but I asked my grandfather. I said, what's the phone number of this? I wanted to know about the social media trash talking. What's the story? And he said, no, I can't. I'm not going to give you the phone number of your own cousin. Right? We share the same grandfather. Right? We share the same grandfather. I talked to him, and he said, no, I'm not going to give you the phone number because she's some sort of celebrity or special person or something. She's better than you. You're just some snake in the road, and she's better than you, and she's got a nicer house than you. No, well, actually, no. As I remember, her house has 2 stories, and my house has 3 stories. So she's not, as I remember, she has 2 sons, and I have 3 sons, right? So it shows. I don't see how she's better than me. Like, I really don't. I mean, where does it say she's better than me, right? She can pretend she is, but whatever. Anyway, we'll see. All right, I'll see you. Take care, and hopefully this nonsense ends soon. But how is it going to end? It's not going to end, and it's going to end, very very badly for her. The day of the final judgment. There's coming a day. Certainly that there's a day of final judgment coming, and it's not going to be pretty. She's going to try to hoe and hum and try to do some splaining. But what's she going to say? Oh, it was a pillar for human rights or whatever. Human rights. Human. It was a family doctor. A family. What is a family? Yeah? Killing a baby? No. And anyway, we'll see ya. I suppose hopefully we'll figure this out. I don't know. I don't know how we could figure this out, but this is a nonsense beyond words. I'll see you. Bye bye.